Alright boys, in today's video we're going to be talking about Summer 4 and I'm going to be letting you guys know everything that there is to know about this event. You know, all the little nodes you're going to have to work out for, you know, just kind of how the event works, all that good stuff, you know, as someone that's played this event like 2 times over on JP. But if you enjoy FGO content, I upload these videos every single day. What are you doing? Give your boy that like, give him the subscribe, help your boy out. It's all I ask for the daily content. But if you're feeling extra feisty, click that join button, become a channel member, all that good stuff. Now with that being said, this event it's really not all that bad, right? Especially coming off the heels of Summer 3, this event could definitely be worse. I mean, you have missions over here, so, you know, kind of make sure you stay on the ball for that, but it's a lot of the traditional stuff that you already know and love, you know, like get the new servant, beat X quests a certain amount of times, you know, level up the Hokusai, you know, get her to Bond 5, all that good stuff, you know, not anything too difficult. You don't have to deal with like 3 event point ladders, right? It's nothing that crazy. In fact, this event, I would say, is actually one of the better events because as long as you have QP, you can make a lot of QP back in this event. Now, if you're a newer player and you're a little on the more broke side with QP, this event's not going to be as good for you, but you can still make a lot of QP back. Because basically, as you can tell by, you know, being in Las Vegas, there's going to be a lot of gambling going on. You know, we're basically gambling here. It costs like QP to go into quests, but then you get a lot of QP back. And then there are these fever quests over here. And these are like, they're more limited. And they're, as we'll talk about right now, they are a bit harder to farm. But you get a stupid dummy. Like, look how much QP you're getting down here. Like, you can make a metric ton amount of QP, and what I mean by it being limited is that like you need these certain tickets that you'll get throughout the event. So basically, it doesn't cost any QP, so that's kind of nice, right? But you need to get some tickets, so they're limited in that sense, and they're very annoying to farm, as you can see here. This is what I've been talking about. Now, not super to like the extent that I've been mentioning, but that nodes are going to start getting weird. And so this is a very powerful quest, but as you'll notice, there is a 4 node, there is a regular 3 node, and then there is like a 6 node. Like, it's crazy. I think this one is bonus, so actually it's more 5, but you have a chance of getting that 6th, but you want the 6th one for the extra drops. And that is true of all of these VIP stages. They're all the same, right? They're these super annoying stages. So it's like, if you're used to Scotty farming and doing things in 3 turn, you know, you might want to start breaking out like the art servants that have a bit more sustain, or just buckle down and prepare to cry throughout this entire thing. Because, I mean, if you try to Scotty farm, I'm just going to let you know right now, it's like, you pop your first NP with like your 3 turn, you know, NP gain buff, you kill this wave and you loop your NP back, but then you're wasting that second turn because there's only one enemy. You know, there's no way to like kill the hidden 4th enemy. So you just got to kind of work your way around that, like bring more sustain teams. You know, it's going to be very annoying. You might be like, well, maybe I'll just do beginner over here, but you're still going to have some annoying stuff. Not as annoying, but you're getting significantly less QP. Like, that's garbage NP compared to this. Like, suffer through it, get the like basically 2 million QP. Make sure you're equipping stuff like, you know, Mona Lisa and stuff to increase the amount of QP you're getting per quest, because these are absolute bangers for making money. Now, you know, again, if you're a newer player and you don't got a whole lot of QP, you know, start grinding a little bit of QP now. You know, if you finished up the Summer 3, go hit the dailies, get some QP going, so you have enough to come grind in the casino. So that's something that I wanted to mention off the bat. These nodes, the normal farming nodes, there's nothing super notable here. Like, as you can see, these are all like pretty normal, like 3-turn nodes. Nothing super crazy, like you have like a 200k boss, nothing insane. We have event damage bonus servants as well, so if you're a newer player and you're like, I can't kill this 127k enemy, you know, there are event bonus servants. Keep in mind that Berserker Musashi over here, where event servant, the event servants, right here. All right, she has a 100% damage buff, and she's a AoE arts berserker. So, you know, if you would like to take advantage of some of these great looping servants like Musashi, John Archer, Melt, who will come out, I believe, like a week after the event starts. You know, grab her. Da Vinci Lily, very good for looping. There's also, well, I mean, I was gonna be like, hey, Caskill's there, but I was like, yeah, Caskill really doesn't loop his NP very well. He can actually kind of get it done with Castoria, funnily enough, but yeah, not really right now. You might struggle to get that done. But Edmund Dantes as well, if you're a Scotty farmer, gonna be very good for a lot of these like normal free quests. You have very solid options here. You should be able to get through most farming because the event bonus for the servants is not bad. So free quest farming shouldn't be that bad. But again, really make sure you're on the ball with those fever quests, right? Those are the ones where you're going to be making the big bucks, right? Something else I wanted to notice, or not notice, but mention, is that over here in the event quest, or the extra quests, there's like little things you can do here and there. Like I can get a quartz. This is the one that I really wanted to mention. If you are a newer player, try to get this one done because it's going to give you 100 million QP. So basically you can get that and that will be a fat dump of QP that you can then start using to kind of like gamble and start doing these quests if you're really struggling early on. So make sure you do that. These can be a little annoying to get through, so you know, it might take you a couple tries, but take advantage of event damage bonus servants and it shouldn't really be all that difficult, right? That's just something I wanted to mention as well. But other than that, the event is pretty smooth sailing as far as like playing the game. Now, what people actually care about are the servants that are coming out for, you know, this event. Banner 1, we're getting Berserker Musashi, who, even if she was absolute dog water, I know a lot of you guys would just be out here summoning for this servant because she's extremely hype. It's Musashi, who's a very popular servant, but now she's in a swimsuit showing her like, what is it, like 10 kilogram tits or whatever is like the meme or something like that. They're humongous. All right, that's all I'm saying. So even if she was bad, you guys would be summoning for her. But the thing is, she's not bad. She's an AoE arts berserker, right? She's a looping berserker, right? So she's like super effective against everything. And she's arts, so she loops, right? It's not like AoE buster. Like, you can just loop things with her. And she does it very well, especially when Castoria comes out. You know, I was a little doubtful, you know, and I kind of downplayed Musashi Berserker. But we've been using her on stream for like the past few days. And, you know, I'm kind of a believer now. I'm like, oh no, she's way better than I thought. Because she's successfully looping when I had one Castoria and a Morgan. So she's missing out on an additional 50% arts mana burst, basically, and an additional 30% attack, and she's still looping very effectively. So she's actually very good. So, like, not only is she a very hype character, but she's really, really good. So it's like, if you're going to summon on this first banner, I understand completely. Osaka Archer and Carmilla Ryder, they're a little more disappointing. Osaka Archer, if you manage to get her, she's kind of like standard good unit. Like, there's nothing like super bad about her, but there's nothing super standout about her either. Like, I just think she's pretty solid. Carmilla's a little disappointing. She's like an AoE quick rider, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check so I'm not spreading misinformation. But she's an AoE quick rider, I believe. Yes, but hits are a little low, and then she kind of like specs not into like looping, but more like challenge quest buffs, I believe, which isn't bad. But in the current meta, especially when she came out, we were like, oh, AoE, you know, quick rider. That means we can loop with her with Scotty, but you know, with that NP gain and with the low hits, you know, you're really just not going to get it done. So she's a little disappointing on that front. Every Sunday, Big Dick Papa is going to be coming out. That's right. Every single Sunday, which I believe for the event's duration will be 3 Sundays. That day only, you have a chance to get Merlin, right? Merlin, one of the big 3, very good caster, still very good to this day on JP. I mean, there's team comps with Merlin that you basically can't die. Like, there's the Himiko, Merlin, and Castoria strat where you can't die and then Himiko kills everybody. Or the Morgan, Merlin, and Castoria strat where, again, you really can't die, but then Morgan just kills everybody. So don't misunderstand, Merlin is still the premium buster support. If you want your buster servants to look at their absolute best, you bring the big dick bandit Merlin and he's going to be insane. So this is another thing that's going to be vying for your quartz. Like, do keep in mind that, no, not that. Go back over here. That this is really good. This banner, the Musashi, I think she's worth it. Like, even though I think she's just pretty good and that she's a little disappointing, Musashi being here, like, already makes this banner very worth it. She's very, very good. But keep in mind, you have Merlin over here. And then, like, Siegfried being on rate up isn't exactly an L. Siegfried, after all of his buffs, is quite good. Especially with Romulus coming out next year. The, like, Romulus, Boudica, and Siegfried setup can actually let you do, like, millions of damage without, like, the need for special event damage mods and stuff like that. Like, it's just super cracked how much extra damage you get by combining all those multipliers. So you can do a lot of meme things with Siegfried. Granted, you do need to pull Romulus as well, but, you know, Boudica's a free piece, basically, because she's a 3-star. So this is not a bad banner. If you get copies of Siegfried, just keep in mind you're going to be able to do big fat memes. Basically, just bring a friend Romulus and have fun with that. But the main target here is Merlin. Like, keep in mind, it's every Sunday that Merlin's coming back around. If you don't have Merlin, I would highly advise that you summon on this banner to try to get him. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Merlin definitely lives up to the hype. He is very, very good. And then we have the second banner. Now, the second banner, it's a bit weird because Ruler Artoria, I think right now she's fine. What I think people are really going to need to be waiting for is when this gets buffed. When this gets buffed, I think this like really helps her out a lot, right? Because it makes her shuffling ability just a bit better. And then as a Buster Servant, giving the entire party that 30% NP gen for one turn. I wish it was 3 turns, but even for just that one turn, it really just helps out, right? It helps her out, and it's helping the entire party out, especially if you're going to be using the combination of like this Ruler Artoria and the Summer BB alongside a servant that you really want to lock their cards in place, and you're trying to like shuffle for the deck that you want. Whenever you shuffle for that deck and then you lock it in place with BB, you're probably going to be using like a Buster Servant, or if you're using an Art Servant that wants to loop. In any situation, getting this extra NP gain is going to be very good, because for the Arts or Quick Servant, they're getting extra NP gain so they can loop easier. Or if it's a Buster Servant, it really does help them out even more, because now you're going to make it a bit easier for them to loop. So I think it just works very well in the team comps. So if... I mean, okay, I can't tell you guys to not summon for her, because look, she's an absolute baddie. I'm going to be summoning on this banner. But, you know, I think if you wanted to be like super maximum big brain, you might try to go for Musashi now, since she's going to be like good immediately, because you can run her with like Nero Bride and stuff. That's like basically baby Castoria. And then maybe wait for next year to summon for her when she gets her buff. I mean, that's just me trying to spread my quartz out as much as possible, right? But I'm a huge, you know, Saberface simp, so I'm definitely going to be summoning on this banner. Not even taking my own advice. But what I think the star of this banner is this melt right here. Because this melt is like looping Jesus, bro. Like, they just dropped a stupid good Art Servant in the quick meta, and it just works, right? Like, she's crazy. Like, she only has like the 3 hits on the Arts NP, but because her NP gain is so high that you can start looping this, especially in harder content, you know, it just makes melt super crazy. Like, bro, like, if you pair her with Double Bride, especially, where Nero Bride, if you're using melt over here for looping, you know, you don't care that they're not going to be getting their NP off, and you just suck their NP up, and then you're just getting fat batteries all over the place. Melt is super good, all right? Melt is secretly, like, one of the better servants that's coming out for Summer 4. And then there's Okita Soji. Now, Jet Soji, we'll talk about her when her video comes out. But she has the Salome ability, and people really don't like that. She's not as bad as people think. She's not bad. It's just, she might be a little disappointing. She might be a little disappointing if you're expecting her, like, you're like, finally, we got Okita Jet Soji. We finally got the swimsuit Okita that we've been waiting for years. You might be a little disappointed, but she's cute. Like, cute-wise, she lives up. Gameplay-wise, she's a little wonky. She's not bad, but she is a little weird. But that's basically everything that I can think of, because we've already got, like, the Merlin. We got that way, way, way early on NA. So, like, a lot of this, you know, I don't think it's going to really... Well, they're not going to revoke the animation update just to give it back, but... You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not really going to be anything there. I guess we could talk about the challenge quest over here. If I go ahead and close these out. This doesn't seem like it's going to be all that difficult. Keep in mind, so, like, this guy's gonna slap you with this buff, but like he can't seal all of your cards at once, and it's always gonna be the same. So like he'll either seal the entire party's quick, or it'll be Buster or Arts, and it's not gonna be like different randoms. You know, it's either gonna be an NP seal or a skill seal. So like just kind of keep in line with that. The only thing that I can really think that's gonna be, you know, a little odd to kind of watch out for is that he buffs your character with a stun. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if he's buffing you with a stun, you wouldn't be able to remove it, like, with debuff cleanse, because it wouldn't count as a debuff. Or I don't know if they're just wording it weirdly on the wiki, because they're saying that, like, it's buffing with this and this, like, in conjunction. So, if I'm misremembering, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, it's just a stun, cleanse it, you know, it's not that bad, who cares? But if they're buffing you with a stun, you actually wouldn't be able to remove it with a debuff cleanse. I mean, there's other servants that have stuff like that. They give themselves a buff that's actually a demerit, but because it acts as a buff, they can't just remove it. So do keep that in mind. That may be like the only oddity here. I mean, Kotaro can hit you with buff nullification, but you can remove that. You can remove these. Like, these are debuffs. You can remove those. And like, look, they even says removable. Like, it's not all that bad. I mean, if Kotaro hits you with his NP, where he inflicts you with confused status, this little goon over here that he summons will hit you for some pretty big damage. So just keep that in mind. But overall, like, you have decent servants at your disposal. They're both assassins. There's not actually a lot of casters that are here for event bonus, but keep in mind, you have a berserker at your disposal. Hokusai will actually do very good damage, even though she's a saber, she's neutral. She's getting 100% extra damage, and she's a free NP5. She's very viable to bring here. If you want to be tanky, you can bring her, because again, getting that 100% extra damage will allow her to hit very hard. If you just farmed Summer Jolter, she can also pretty much just wipe this event pretty easily. She's getting a 30% damage mod, and she's a Berserker Buster Servant. My bad, I'm speaking too quickly. But especially if you just pull Merlin, like, on that Merlin, like, rate that he's going to get, just going with Jolter Berserker and just dominate everything. It's really not all that difficult. I think I've covered everything, so if this helped you out, you know, let me know in the comments down below if there's any questions. If you have any further questions and you just need that, like, personal answer, you can come into the Discord, which is linked down in the description down below. If I'm not available, there are plenty of other people in there that will definitely, like, give you a helping hand. They'll, like, add your friend code. They'll, you know, give you tips on, you know, farming nodes to help you out and everything. We have a pretty solid community in there. You know, just hop in the FGO chat and somebody can definitely help you out if I'm not available. So with that being said, I hope this helped you guys out. You know, leave a like and subscribe, all that good stuff. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace, light, guys.